In this lesson, we're going to look at what indices are. Now, indices are just powers, and you've met them before in terms of squaring something and cubing something, but the number doesn't always just have to be a 2 or a 3. Now, it says here, powers or indices are used to write repeated calculations in a shorter form, and that's what we're going to look at. So here we have 3 to the power 4. That's read as 3 to the power 4, or 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And if you typed it into your calculator, you'll get an answer of 81. Another way to look at it is this bit comes to 9, and this bit comes to 9. So 9 times 9 is 81. Same idea, instead of writing m times m times m times m times m times m, you can write n to the power 6. So it shortens a lot of calculations we have to do in maths instead of writing out big long ones like this. Now, a wee hint for you, if the power is even when you're dealing with negative numbers, the answer is always positive. It's like squaring a negative number. When you square a negative number, it becomes positive, like negative 3 times negative 3 will give you 9. And if you have multiples of even numbers, this is always going to be the case. It always turns out to be an even numbered answer. So you could essentially just do 3 to the power 4 and then work out it's a positive. Same idea, if it's an odd number in the power, then the answer is going to be a negative number. So you could just do 3 cubed, 3 times 3 times 3 is 27, and because there's an odd number up here, it'd be a negative 27. That's when dealing with negative numbers in the wee brackets. Okay, now when you're dealing with indices, there are 6 rules to learn. We will go through all 6, not in this lesson. This lesson is going to concentrate on rule 1 and rule 2, the basic rules. Okay, so rule 1, when you multiply powers together, then you're really adding them, and I'll show you why in this next example. C squared we can write in a longer way as C times C, and if we multiply that by C cubed, we do C times C times C, and then if we rewrite this, how many C's have we got multiplied together? We've got 5. The easiest thing to do, instead of writing all this out, this is to understand it, but instead of writing it out, you can just add the 2 and the 3 and get the 5. That's where it comes from. And when you divide indices, rule 2 says that you take them away. So if we look at the top line, we can have C times C times C times C times C. And in the bottom line, just C times T. And we've crossed out 2 in the bottom and 2 in the top. This is dividing by C top and bottom, then doing it again. And you're left with 3 C's in the top and just a 1 in the bottom. So it would be C to the power 3. An easier way to do it is just do the 5 take away the 2. Okay, let's look at some harder examples of rule 1 and 2. Sometimes you've got numbers at the front, re-instruction, do the numbers first. So 6 4s make the first part, and p to the 4 times p to the 3 make the second part. So that's p times p times p times p times p times p times p. This is a long way of doing it to try and get you to understand what's happening. Again, you can do it much quicker if you understand. 6 4s are 24, and if you add the indices, you get p to the power 7, as in 7 lots of p here. So do the numbers first, then the powers. Same idea with the fraction here. Do the numbers first, so 9 divided by 3, and then in the top line you've got a to the power 6, so 6 lots of a's, and in the bottom you've only got 2 of them. You can cancel a's top and bottom by dividing by a top and bottom, then dividing by a again top and bottom, so you're left with a 1 in the bottom and a to the power 4 in the top. So this comes to a to the power 4, and this 9 divided by 3 is 3. So 3, then a to the power 4. You just do the 9 divided by 3 first to get 3, and a to the 6 and a divided by a to the 2, take them away and you get 4. Finally, in the last example, do the multiplication parts first. If you see no index there, it's the 1. So if you add the 5 and the 4, you get a 9. And if you add the 2 and the 1, you get 3. And then if you follow the rules, to divide you take away, e to the power 6.